to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Lawson.
Aye.
Buns.
Present.
Reister.
Aye.
Engel.
Here.
Wyatt.
Here.
Motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda, anything to be removed? If not, motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Welcome, everyone. Just for a little update, Chrissy Wiersma had sent in applications for grants for the dugout project. We got one, I think we announced it last meeting, for the McElroy Trust for $8,000. We also just received notification from the Guernsey Foundation that they've granted us $11,000. So we got
Thank you
plenty.
for all your hard work.
Yes.
Citizens request and oral presentations. A number of it. Greg, you want to go first? With comments on Waters Road, no parking, I
Yeah.
presume?
Just a few updates. I had the opportunity to speak with some of the folks that lived in town after the meeting on the way out.
Okay.
And there was some concern on their part that they didn't feel the traffic count was as high as I had presented in the forum. So I went back to the county engineer, and they referred me to a DOT website, and which is where they got their data.
Okay.
And because I used a figure of something in excess of 300 vehicles per day. On the website, there's figures from 5 different years in the last 19. If you average those 5 counts, it comes up to 388 cars per day.
Okay.
3 of those counts are from within the city limits, and they are higher counts, as high as 440 cars per day. And I think the 2 other counts were from west of the city limits, but east of the Hudson Heights entrance.
Okay.
And I also looked at what the count was on Waters Road west of the Hudson Heights entrance, and that drops to about 50 cars per day. So I think we know where the traffic
Sure.
is coming from. The group from within the city limits also voiced a concern that they didn't feel the hill was big enough to cause a sight distance problem. And you could go to a U.S. Geological website and get a topographic map, and it shows an elevation differential from the curve to the hilltop to the city limits of about 10 feet.
Okay.
So, and if you've driven it, you know you can't see, that through that. But I think the biggest concern for eastbound traffic is they can't see cars leaving the curve when they enter from the city limits. And vice versa, if you're headed west, you can't see the cars coming from the other way. So that's just the updates that I
Okay, thanks. Steve, you want to make a comment?
Oh, just that I understand there's some concern about inconvenience, not being able to park on the road, right? They can park at the back of their lot. I just thought that the safety of the people who travel would be more important than the inconvenience for their parking.
Okay, thanks. Harlan?
My only comment is, since this has all started, it appears, the people know about it. They haven't been parking there near as much. The parking's a lot less. I think it's a lot safer. So that proves to me apparently there is an alternative parking for them. I mean, it's maybe an inconvenience, but they do have another option because they're not parking there now. And like I said, I think it's much safer. We hauled grain down that road a week ago and it was much better.
Was there anybody parked on it when you hauled?
There was one white car, but they've
Would get around
been
it?
crowded over further. They used to pretty much stay on the road,
Which side were they parked on?
be the south side.
Okay.
But it's still,
Yep.
I still think you should be able to meet an oncoming vehicle anywhere on that road because it is a major road.
Gotcha. Anybody else, while we got an open session on?
I've got a comment that was called into meeting.
We'll get those later when we get to the actual resolution. Okay, thanks. Public Works Committee, Matt, you got that?
Yep, we had a meeting on, we had a meeting on 14th, and update on the sand volleyball courts. The sand is over there, I drove over there after the meeting. Has it been spread out since then?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. I think my daughter was there playing sand volleyball.
Yeah, including all the way to having a few kids with their little shovels out there. And their
That's
buckets.
nice. I was a little skeptical about we need better sand.
I watched
That's
them,
pretty
make
nice
sure they
sand.
didn't take it back to the apartments, but they did.
Yeah, you could have a beach party on that sand, it was nice. We're gonna buy a F-350, a 2021 F-350 for the Water and Sewer Department. You can read details about that in the minutes. The sanitary sewer line needs to be replaced on Bonnie Boulevard, and there's some cement concrete blocks that have like kind of fallen down into it from when it was originally made. And so we made a motion to move forward with that. Wait a minute, did we approve a bid or did we?
It's in the resolutions.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We recommended.
We recommended a bid, that's right. We did several sewer adjustments, and we were updated on the softball and baseball dugouts, which at that time, I also went and checked those out. The cement, or the concrete slabs have been poured. I don't know, are they any further along now?
Yeah.
They're starting to put it up.
They've got one almost completely done.
Great. Any questions?
Thanks, Matt. Any questions for Matt?
19,000 sure helps with that too.
Yes, it does. Thanks for prodding us, Kate.
You're welcome.
Thank God we moved forward with that.
Yeah, yeah. General Government, item A, discussion action to approve the third reading of ordinance 837, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Hudson, Iowa by adding chapter 6908, no parking zones on Waters Road. Before we have a motion, Kate, you got a comment from someone, and Chrissy's got a couple we'll read those so that the council can take those into consideration.
Paul Hilmer from 6514 Waters Road called me, which that would be the last house prior to turning into Hudson Heights, so west of this whole thing. He was all for the no parking as well. He said it does get pretty congested out there. He's had to take his turn, wait for somebody else to pass before he can drive through. And his biggest concern is wintertime, obviously with cars left on the road when there's plowing. It just makes everything that much closer into the center all winter long, which creates an issue. So he would appreciate, he was in favor of the no parking.
Thanks, Kate. Chrissy, you want to do the one that came in, and then
Yep.
Chief Banks
Yep.
is the last one?
All right, so this one that I had emailed to me was from Kevin and Stacy Yoder, and they are at 7325 Hudson Heights. And their email says, we just wanted to send a quick email follow-up and reference ordinance 837, code section 6908, for the next city council meeting. We believe that it's in regards to no parking on Waters Road as it poses a safety concern. We certainly recognize that it is a very busy road, especially in the morning and afternoon. Generally, the busiest traffic coincides with the sun rising and setting, especially in the spring and fall, and also with the school bus traveling the road at the same time. When cars are parked on the road, it narrows the travel width considerably and is a safety concern for both pedestrians and cars. In the winter, it becomes a major concern for snow removal. In addition, it also creates issues with mail delivery and garbage pickup and further congests the area. We wanted to write in support of an ordinance that would not allow on-street parking on Waters Road.
And then Chrissy got a hold of Chief Banks, because Matt, I think you'd asked that last meeting whether Chief Banks had given a written, and he's provided a written
Yep.
response.
Okay, so this is his response. It says, thinking about the residents / taxpayers on Waters Road, I don't agree with 100% no parking. I see and understand the concerns of those living in the Hudson Heights area. Last week, I did sit on Waters Road while at the city limits for approximately 3 hours. During that 3 hours, I did notice that the majority of the vehicles that came from the direction of Hudson Heights are speeding well over the speed limit while coming into Hudson. Some vehicles I locked in at 60+ miles per hour. I personally feel that having vehicles on the side of Waters Road will help slow those vehicles down. As for big farm equipment, being a non-resident of Hudson Road, Waters Road, I personally feel that they can just take the back way. Waters Road does have a nice amount of kids living on both sides, and Big Farm Equipment has more blind spots than vehicles. I'm all for parking on the south side only.
So that's the feedback. I'd entertain either a motion to approve the third reading of no parking or an amendment to the ordinance that would limit parking to only the south side.
I'd make a motion, no parking.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion?
I'll discuss. I did ask for Chief Banks' input last week. I appreciate it.
Mhm.
And it seems like I'm going against it, which I don't want to get at odds with our police chief. I trust his input. At the same time, we've heard overwhelming feedback from people, I think, on one side of this argument. And I also think that if there's a speed problem out there, the best way to mitigate that isn't by letting cars park there, it's to fix the speed problem.
Right, tickets.
Right, yeah, make some money. And so, and it's probably all y'all out there.
Y'all hear that? Tom doesn't drive on that road that often, so you don't speed.
I have the highest regard for Chief Banks, and I want to support him in almost every way that I can, but I'm gonna support no parking, which is a little different than what he suggested.
Any further discussion?
And there's nothing to say down the road, like in 6 months or something, we can revisit this?
Further comments? Roll call.
Lawson,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Engel,
No.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-1.
4-1, and the no parking will take effect after publication of the ordinance, correct?
Yep, and I will try to get it in on Thursday.
Okay.
I'll send it to her right away tomorrow
So
morning.
when the signs go up, that's when it takes effect, right? Because you're able to order signs and have them probably about that time, Jay? Okay. Thanks for all your input, appreciate it.
I'll let you know whatever it is.
You're free to go if you want.
Yeah, you don't have to stick around for the whole thing.
Tom, you're not free to go, sorry.
Well, I'll leave you.
I went through a lot of principles last time.
We purposely put yours at the end.
Good, how are you?
Item B, discussion action to approve resolution 2696, a resolution to purchase a new pickup truck for the water and sewer department for the city of Hudson.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Engel,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Reister.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Item C, discussion action to approve resolution 2697, resolution for approval of road closures for Sons of Abnet's events, and what those will be is on November 6th and the 20th from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. and on November 7th from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Wait, they're doing the 6th and the 7th?
6th and the 20th for the Son of Abnet's for a fish fries, drive-through fish
And then
fries.
Saturday night is the pulled pork sandwich.
They changed it from a breakfast to an afternoon. The riders changed.
Got it.
I think it had always been that pulled pork sandwich.
Oh, I don't know. I
They
had sent
advertised
Christy
it.
an email this morning and said, what time is the actual riders thing? Is it a breakfast or some other time?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, originally we thought that it was a breakfast, and then I got a hold of
Yes,
DJ.
So-
it's the pulled.
Just to confirm, they're doing from Jefferson Street to the bank to 4th Street? Is that the closure? So it's just that one block in there?
I think
I mean, they're not doing the
so.
whole downtown.
No, it's just the
one
post
block
office,
so
yeah.
that they can have people
Between
That's
Jefferson and 4th, it says.
Perfect, okay.
Yeah.
to pick up meals.
so moved.
Second.
Third, fourth.
Discussion. Roll call.
Engel,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Reister.
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Item D, discussion action to approve resolution 2698, a resolution for accepting and approving the final plat for Upper Ridges 3rd Edition, City of Hudson, Iowa.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Lawson,
Aye.
Engel,
Aye.
Reister.
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Next time, pass on thank yous to the partnership, or whatever it is.
Can't wait for all the calls.
It already started.
I know.
Can I sell mine and buy a different one?
No.
Item E, discussion action to approve resolution 2699, a resolution approving the State of Iowa Annual Urban Renewal Report for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2020, and Blackhawk County Tax Increment Financing Report for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2020. All standard reporting.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Engel.
Aye.
Buns.
Aye.
Reister.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Item F, discussion action to approve resolution 2700, a resolution accepting the retirement of employee and moving current part-time police officer to full-time. This is resignation of Scott Dietrich, just slightly before his scheduled retirement date, and then promoting police officer Caleb Lynn from a part-time into a full-time position.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Reister.
Aye.
Engel.
Aye.
Buns.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
And there is a card on the back counter if you
Okay.
guys do want to sign it.
Okay, super. Brenda, you've got something you want to advise the council of?
Yeah. First, I want to express my sincere gratitude for the opportunity to have served our community as a city council member. It has been an honor and a privilege, but I need you to accept my resignation from the city council effective tomorrow. I will no longer reside within the city of Hudson city limits, which makes me no longer eligible for this seat. I do wish my fellow council members the best and continued success, and may the city of Hudson continue to prosper.
Thank you very much for your service.
Appreciate
I know it's
it.
tough because you've been enjoying this, I think.
I've learned a lot,
Uh,
a lot.
Effectively, it'll be on next council agenda to accept the formal resignation, but because it's a vacancy, it's pretty much statute oriented.
The vacancy happens tomorrow,
Right.
the resignation, you accept the resignation at the next meeting, and then you have 60 days from the vacancy to fill the post.
So we will start communicating out that we have a vacancy. If you have individuals that you would like to have
Hey, Tom.
consider, we'll probably ask that they,
I need one more thing to do.
yeah.
No, you don't.
Is this, it'll be appointed by you?
It will be appointed by me to be ratified by the council. I believe it takes ratification by the council.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, and
I'm
then,
going back to how Cedar Falls work,
It's
we'd be under the
it's
same
by
state
appointment
regulation.
by the remaining members of the council,
Mm.
actually.
Just by a majority vote?
Yes.
So
And-
3 out of 4?
Unless we get that petition.
yeah, and then they have,
Right.
then,
Unless somebody files a petition, so at the next meeting, you'll make a selection as to which way you're going to go. Are you gonna proceed with appointment on your own, or are you gonna have an election? Assuming that you're not gonna have an election, then you publish notice that you're choosing to appoint on your own, and she has to publish notice of all of that, and in the event that somebody petitions for election, then that has to happen.
and they have 14 days from the appointment to file a petition.
This code section is written really badly.
I think that's what I read today.
What does the petition have to do with anything?
They can force a.
A
they can
a
disagree
number,
with
Cedar
the-
a
Falls.
number of
Like Cedar
electors,
Falls.
right, can
I don't
force a
follow that.
vote.
They,
Appointment has to be
Like
issued
a
60 days after the vacancy
Which is expensive.
occurs.
We gotta find somebody within 60
And
days.
remember that whoever you fill, fills until the next regular city election, unless there's an intervening special election.
Guys, you get $35 per meeting, so it's way worth it.
Just to turn anybody even.
They'll be on the committee and have.
$15 a meeting, $15 a
Yes,
meeting.
if within 14 days after publication of the notice of intent to fill by appointment, there's filed with the city clerk a petition which requests a special election to fill the vacancy, and appointment to fill would then be temporary until after you call a special election.
So if we appoint somebody, if it ends up being an appointment, they serve till the end of Brenda's term, not until our next election.
No, that's
They
not
serve until the
correct.
next
They
election.
serve until the next regular city election.
Yeah,
So
so
then
they,
her position comes open, even though it's only 2 that are coming, that terms are
That-
ending at the next
That is the way
election?
the
No,
code
we got 3
section
then.
says.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So then the 3 on our cycle flips to 3 on the other
Yours.
cycle.
Yeah.
Right,
Correct.
Yeah.
It makes,
Okay.
it shifts the stagger.
okay.
Shifts the study. Okay, number of informational items in the packet, reminder items, regularly scheduled meetings held at council chambers except for electric board and library board. Public Works, November 11th. Mayor's Task Force, November 17th. Personnel Admin, November 23rd. Public Safety, November 26th. Next council meetings, November 6th and 26th, and
Move to adjourn?
No, it's the 23rd, isn't it, November 23rd?
oh,
Because
yeah,
the 26th is
26th is a
Thanksgiving.
Thursday?
it's Thanksgiving, yeah,
Thanksgiving,
we're
so
going the
you already
23rd,
And
sorry.
public safety will not be on Thanksgiving
That's
either.
totally
so
fine.
I'm just saying right now, not happening.
No.
So I move to adjourn. Second, anybody?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The record's signed.
Oh, no.
Oh, no,